Ready spaghetti. You ready to with spaghetti?
We're rumbling with spaghetti?
Yeah.
How does one rumble with spaghetti?
It's the meatballs.
So we're rumbling with the meatballs.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like the
Those yummy.
cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
Yeah. Are you ready to rumble with cloudy with a chance of meatballs? There's too many withs in that title.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It is. So on your search for a novel title, I'd keep
looking. I'm sorry. I'm not an author. My mom's an author. I'm not.
Not to either. I would like to be. That lifestyle is very intriguing for me.
I don't know that my brain is that creative in that way.
Like the most creative, maybe in that way.
In that way. I'm creative in like do things way, creating like out of thin air a whole storyline, because I would have to go fantasy. I would not be able to write like fictional, but like set in the world. Like I would have to do some kind of like fantasy world, and then I'd get caught up in the language, you know?
In the language?
Yeah, coming up with like my own Elvish.
You do know you could do fantasy where they speak English.
Or
this
is the problem.
You act like you're not a big picture person, but look at you struggling with the big picture. If you really wanted to be an author, you don't have to write your own language.
And I feel like I'm not Tolkien enough.
So you only want to be an author if you can be Tolkien.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't want to be an author.
No.
So that lifestyle does not appeal to you. It does to me.
I mean, the idea of just chilling and writing, or I guess
sitting around drinking hot tea all day, maybe even a mimosa or two, and just
creatively.
And then you're like, I'm going to take a break, go to the gym. And then you walk outside because, of course, if you're a writer, you have to live in like Edinburgh. So then
now I'm in love with the style.
Yeah. So then you're just going to walk outside and look at all of the like buildings that are 100 times older than you, and
draw inspiration.
Suddenly you're inspired and you're like, I got to get back in there and start writing again.
I don't even need the gym.
Because I live in Edinburgh and I walk everywhere.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to episode 29.
Welcome back.
This week we are talking about Hugh Capet of the House of Capet.
Yes. /
the Capetian Dynasty.
Capetian, yeah.
Capetian?
Why not?
Why not Capetian? It's Capet. Capetian.
You don't hear the difference in what you're saying?
No. Do you hear the difference in what I'm saying? I don't.
I do.
I was asking listener.
Capet, Capetian.
It's Capet.
Not in French. Capet, which is exactly what you said when you introduced it.
Is
Hugh
it?
Capet. Mm-hmm.
Oy.
And then Capetian. Not Capetian.
I mean, I'm just going to go with it because you seem to be really confident. So thanks. So last week we told you about Louis V of France.
Mm-hmm.
He was a bit of a sluggard king.
A bit.
One of those do-nothings. He's the one who got married twice. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He first married a woman who was about twice his age. Really 28 years older than him, and he was like 15 at the time.
So more than twice his age.
Yeah. That marriage was annulled because obviously they did not have things in common at all. And he died childless in a hunting accident.
So we talked a lot about our buddy Hugh in the last episode, things that we're not going to rehash today.
Mm-hmm.
We'll give you gentle reminders as Clarissa says, oh, we talked about that last week, because I definitely don't remember.
I really didn't cover a whole lot that was already discussed because I really found enough information about Hugh that was relevant.
What you just said did not make any sense at all.
Here's the thing. Hey guys, I'm pregnant and my brain doesn't work the way it used to. Can I just throw that card out there anytime?
Always. And yet we have a podcast, so it will have to be clear.
It will have to make... You know what? If I talk about something we've talked about...
No, all I said was we're not going to cover everything we've already covered. And your sentence just implied we didn't really cover them anyway last time. That's what you just said. We did cover him last time a lot.
We did.
We're not going to do that again.
No.
But Clarissa may say, like, this kind of happened. We talked about it last time. So if you want to hear it, go back and listen to last week's episode.
Yep. Last week.
We're so confident that that's going to go smoothly.
Yeah. Is this going to be one of those days where we say they never married 5 seconds later?
And then
married with children.
I'm like, I swear, I just told them he never got married. Yes.
Welcome to the show. In case you didn't know this is Royal Malarkey. We are chaotic.
It is our draw.
It is.
Okay.
It's the appeal.
So Hugh Capet was born back in 939 to... Don't have my notes up, so I don't know why.
Hugh the Great.
The powerful Hugh the Great and his wife, Hedwig. You were doing that on purpose! I bought them, so I don't have to do it.
What? No, we both have to do it.
Hold, please.
That's it. No. Both of us, because I was waiting for it to happen, and then you got so excited. Hedwig. The point is...
But since I bought them, you have to eat one too.
Yeah, I'll eat one too.
Do you all recall when we were podcast only? Hopefully we have some people
who've translated over to the YouTubers.
Yes. Anytime we bring up a Harry Potter reference, one must. Very shiny.
Yeah, it is. There you go. Have a birdie bought every flavor bean from Harry Potter, and trust me, some of these do not go well. I will reject the vomit because I think
you don't get a choice.
No. Vomit might actually make me vomit.
You don't get to choose.
I can't do it. You've never gotten vomit. You don't know what it's like.
That's untrue.
No, it's true.
I have gotten vomit, so I do know what it's like.
I'm not eating vomit. I've had to eat it like 3 times. I'm not doing it anymore.
Right. Close your eyes.
Okay. Hold, please, people.
We'll be right back.
It's bright green, guys.
Only bright green? Let me see.
Only bright green.
Let me see. Oh. I'm like, let me see.
I'm letting everybody see.
All right, eat it.
No specs.
Eat it.
Okay, I have to guess.
Mm-hmm.
Candy apple.
Green apple.
Yeah!
Oh, mine's yellow. But it's like a neon yellow.
A neon yellow.
So,
maybe it's a lemon. Like maybe they're actually good. The thing is, I've gotten grass, soap, dirt, sausage. And
mine's definitely lemon. Yeah.
Oh.
We lucked out today.
We really lucked out today. And Hedwig, for those of you who don't know, is Harry Potter's owl.
His owl.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you know that.
You know, somebody out there might just be normal and not crazy and obsessive like we are.
I think normal implies that you know who Harry Potter is.
I do agree with you. They
Especially
just
for
may
our
not
age
know
group.
the owl's name.
That's possible. Okay. Anyway, back to that. Repeats do not count. So,
agreed.
Hugh Capet's parents, powerful Duke Hugh the Great, and his wife, Hedwig Saxony.
Who actually came from the line of Charlemagne. Ba, ba, ba.
Yeah. So he was descendant from Charlemagne's sons, Louis the Pious and Pepin. Through Hedwig's paternal grandmother.
I honestly didn't go into it. I just left it at descendant of Charlemagne. And his direct uncle was the Eastern Frankish king. So he is
Otto
really
the Great.
well connected.
Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Otto the Great. Yeah.
Very, very well connected dude.
Very well. Yeah.
And his grandfather was elected king already, Robert I of France on his dad's side. Yeah.
Did we talk about that?
Just now.
His grandfather was elected king already.
Yeah.
Of
Robert
what?
I of France. He's episode 24.
So when I said, did we talk about that already? And you said, yeah, just now.
Did you mean episode-wise?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
How would you not know that?
I'm on my side
What
with this
else
one.
would I mean?
I don't know. It just doesn't make sense
You
to
even
me.
have a note so that we mention it. And yet when I asked, leading right into your note, you're like, oh, no, we just talked about it just now.
Just now. Not like 2 seconds ago.
We're going to duck our heads down and start over. Ready?
Hey!
Hi.
We're new people now.
So, Robert the First, have we talked about him before?
Yes, in episode 24.
Awesome.
So, the Capetian Dynasty,
Capetian.
is a very long-lasting dynasty.
And it is because...
they ruled from 987 to 1328, which is 340 years.
And we will get into a little later why they ruled for so long.
Oh, yes.
Because it's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
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 But just a brief recap. So he was born, what did I say? 939 parents. He did marry Adelaide, who's the daughter of a count. And they did have a couple of kiddos. Gisela, another Hedwig, for which I do not have to.
Yeah.
Okay. And a son, Robert II, who we will be talking about next week.
Yep. So he was actually elected king in 950 when he was about 17 years old, and he ruled with his father. I'm wrong.
You're very wrong.
Undo, Clarissa.
Okay. He was elected king?
He was elected king in 987, making him about 48 years old.
When he was elected.
When he was elected.
Yes. Yep.
Yes. And special note, his two brothers ruled over Burgundy. So his brothers were Otto and Henry, and it kind of made it a little bit more peaceful between Francia and Burgundy, which used to be under the same rule, but Burgundy's broken off quite a bit to do their own thing. Yeah.
Also, cool factoid, as we do, his paternal family, so because he was related to, Charlemagne and the French line and all that through his mom's side of the family, but through his dad's side of the family, the Robertians, who we're talking about a little bit, they were powerful landowners in the Ile-de-France. Do you know what that is?
No.
Ile-de-France. So, another Vikings reference, because what other movie goes back this far? France at this time is on an island in the middle of the Seine. So,
Paris or just like the center?
Paris.
Oh, Paris. Yeah.
Paris is only this little island in the middle of the Seine. It's all it is. That's where Notre Dame is, which used to be their castle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So apparently they owned...
And cathedral. Originally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. Something like that.
No.
But didn't they... It was like their palace
for a
there,
while,
right?
I think it was a palace for a brief minute.
I mean, even if it was a cathedral, didn't they palace out of it? I don't know. Anyway, large cities at this time were literally built around wherever the cathedral was, and this cathedral was built on the island. So what happens is you have the Seine going along business, then there's this huge island, and it splits and goes around the island and comes back. And now it's like the most expensive part of Paris to live in. It's a huge tourist area, but that's where you go and visit Notre Dame. But apparently they owned that island.
Oh.
Powerful landowners in the Ile-de-France.
Nice. Oh, Ile is island.
Look at you. Putting 2 and 2 together and making 5.
Got there. So in 956, he inherited his father's estates when he was about 17 years old, in theory making him one of the most powerful nobles in a very highly reduced kingdom of West Francia. And I say reduced because our last Carolingian king really didn't have any power because all of his lands were taken from him.
As we mentioned earlier,
With the last week.
Waffignon.
Yeah, the lazy guy up there.
Yeah.
And he just... Sorry, there's Hugh Capet. I moved.
Capet.
Capet.
Hi, buddy.
So he
what do we have
actually...
dangling off our chin here?
Huh?
Gems hanging off our chin.
Interesting.
Don't we?
I don't know. It might just be like a nick in the painting. I don't know. YouTubers only get to see that. So Hugh Capet actually was pretty powerful from the age of 17, even though he wasn't like a full adult. Like 17 isn't like old enough to not rule with the regency. So his mom kind of acted as his guardian when he was younger before being crowned king, because he wasn't crowned until he was like in his late 40s.
Mm-hmm.
And young Hugh's neighbors ended up taking advantage and kind of trying to fight. And so he lost a little bit of land there when he was young. In 960, Lothaire's episode, in episode 27, Lothaire agreed to grant Hugh the legacy of his father in the Margrave of Neustria and the title of the Franks. So he initially inherited the estates, and then Lothaire from episode 27 actually gave him the official title of Duke of the Franks, which basically makes him second in command to the king. Yeah, so very, very young.
I didn't do much by 17 by those standards.
Seriously.
I did graduate high school when I was 17.
Oh, kudos.
Like, just because my birthday's in the summer, not because I did anything special.
I was like,
No.
yeah, you were the youngest.
I second
You
youngest.
could claim special.
I've always felt I have like this thing about being the younger one too.
That's why.
It
because
is.
your birthday was in the summer.
I'm so used to being younger and less responsible than everyone
Which
else.
is so funny because my thing is I wanted to be older.
And now Clarissa's young. She's almost a year younger than me.
Almost.
And I hang out. I spend all my time with her getting all insecure and
You spend all of your time getting insecure.
feeling like an old lady.
Oh my God. Okay.
Anyway.
So we've got some fun bits for you guys. In 981, Hugh did a very good thing.
Hugh did a thing.
He did a very, very good thing.
What did he do?
Returned the relics of Saint Valerie.
This he did do.
He restored them to their proper resting place. He restored them to their proper
resting place.
Can I do the whole like bend over thing? And
Yeah,
then,
want
like,
to? Ready?
Yeah.
Go. Hello. Hello, Governor.
It didn't work.
Oh no, my hair. You got too ecstatic.
I just flipped
You
too much.
did. You got too into it.
I did.
You got it. All things in moderation, Clarissa. All things in moderation.
I'm learning. In 981, he returned the relics of Saint Valerie to the proper resting place.
Mm-hmm.
Kudos, sir.
Kudos to him. Which did you do things on this?
What do you know what the relics were?
I believe they may be body parts.
Tell me what they are.
I don't know exactly what they were, but I did look into our buddy Valerie or Valeric a little bit. So he was a peasant that decided he didn't want to be like a shepherd or whatever, and he went into the church. And he kind of started like a cult kind of thing, but maybe not a crazy kind of cult. Maybe just like a live off the land, live peacefully type.
I think cults back then were more acceptable.
Yes. So actually he like moved to this part of the kingdom and started this little like, I guess he was into like horticulture, so like farming, living off the land, loving God kind of thing. And then he died, but the people just kept doing that there, right? So I guess cult. But it's actually still there, and it's a resort now that you can go to and stay in and live
Really?
peacefully. Yeah, for sure.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. And it's literally named, let's see, what is it called? Saint Valerie sur Somme.
What does that
Saint
mean?
Valerie sur Somme. St. Valerie on the Somme River, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's a place near the mouth of the Somme River. But it's actually now like a resort that you can go stay in. Yeah. Anyway, but Hugh Capet had a dream. Yeah, you want to tell him about that?
This is our image on YouTube, the appreciation of St. Valerie to Hugh Capet. Capet.
Yeah, he came to him in a dream, and
at night.
Yeah. What do you want to tell her? Do you want me to tell her?
Oh, yeah.
Go for it.
That night, he came to him in a dream and told him that for what you have done, you and your descendants shall be kings to the 7th generation. And when Hugh finally did get crowned king, he refused to wear his like signia, right?
Yeah.
Thinking that he would extend it by 1 generation.
Mm-hmm.
And that way, like just that little bit longer, his legacy would continue. But in actuality, 7th generation is a figurative term. Meaning
7 is. So 7 is a very religious number. And so I guess people debate that the significance of the 7 is that your line will live on through the French monarchy
forever. And in fact, his bloodline in some way did actually last until 1848 in France. Although the current King of Spain and Grand Duke of Luxembourg are Capetians.
So forever.
It is forever.
Till today.
If ever I want to be visited in a dream, I'm going to say...
Hope it's the hermit Saint
Valerie.
Valeric.
I guess if I find bones, I should try to return them.
Ooh, not
Do you
today.
think maybe...
Back then, maybe, but not today.
Oh.
Time travel's a thing. We can go on a bone hunt.
Yeah. And then maybe get blessed.
Going
on a bone hunt.
Yep.
Okay.
So there's that.
Yes.
What else you got? Because I got stuff on the Divine Comedy. Do you?
No.
Do you know what the Divine Comedy is?
Isn't that Dante's Inferno?
So the Divine Comedy is 3 different. It's like a book essentially about Dante's interpretation of
hell and the circles of hell, and
not just hell. There's heaven. There's purgatory. It's about
there's 7 layers
and
or
the
something,
way
and how the sins correlate to the type of torture you'll get in your punishment in the afterlife.
It's not necessarily always torture. It's like it's the afterlife. It's about the afterlife and what you get based on how you live your life or any of your 7 deadly sins that you are in constant committal of. So it's divided into Inferno, which is hell, Purgatorio, which is purgatory, and then Paradiso, which is heaven. So anyway, I don't know that much about it, but it is relevant to Hugh Capet because I think, let me find it, he wrote about him in the book.
Really?
Yes. So he puts him on what's known as the 5th terrace in purgatory. So not in hell, but in purgatory. He's on the 5th terrace where he's being punished amongst other sinners where their sin is avarice, which is greed.
How is his sin greed?
I mean, I guess just because, so greed.
A saint blessed him.
A saint blessed him and said, your family will rule for essentially 7 generations. And he thought, I'll get ahead by not wearing my signia. And so my 7 won't start yet. Like greed. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, anywho.
Huh.
But he's famous.
He is famous. You know, I tried to read Dante's Inferno in
I was
high
just
school.
thinking I might try to read it, but I've never tried before.
I own it. It is.
You don't. Can I have it?
It's in storage
forever.
Yes, you can read it.
Is it paperback? I really want a paperback.
No, I don't do paperback. I buy.
See, I'm the opposite. Now I kind of I've been buying up classics, and I'm like, I want paperback because I want to be able to write all over them and highlight them.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I like the collection. I'm trying to buy a specific collection of Barnes and Noble's classics. Like, it's an older set anyway, because I've been collecting them for so long.
Right.
anyway, I tried to read it in high school. It is really, really that. And I think it was the Count of Monte Cristo. I really struggled to understand, but I did power through the Silmarillion.
Yeah, that was tough.
I
couldn't even actually finish Lord of the Rings. I
did Lord
a
of the
couple
Rings
chapters
first.
into the last, the
first book or the
no,
second
the last
one?
book.
You got into the last book?
And I got till like right after Frodo encounters the spider and then he died.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't get past it. It's just such a tough read.
It is. I can't believe you made it that far and then quit. I would have powered through the rest. No, I read The Hobbit as a child multiple times.
Yeah, but I'd read it.
It's
in
a
school.
children's book, right? And then thinking I could easily read Lord of the Rings, that took at least a year. And then the Silmarillion itself took a year with highlights
and it's thin,
notes.
Right? It's a thin book.
It's not. I mean, yeah, it is for Lord of the Rings. Like if you compare it to that,
right? It's not as yeah.
And really, the main reason I powered through it is because Ryan, my then boyfriend, now husband, bought it for my birthday, and I really, really wanted it, so I better freaking read it. Anyway, thank you for buying it for me because I would not have finished it.
Are you glad you read it, or
I'm really glad I read it.
Was it good?
It is good. It's a collection of more short stories with like references to different races within ancient Middle Earth, like pre-Middle Earth. Because like we're in Earth now. I don't know. Anyway, back to Hugh.
Yes, please. I was about to go real rabbit mile.
Yeah, we really need a Lord of the Rings punishment.
We do. We do, definitely. Okay.
In November of 987, Hugh helped out Lothair by backing him up against the battles with the East Germans and moved the substantiation of and this movement like of the power as the second of command, the title that he had inherited from his father. I
don't know what you're trying to
say. I don't know what I'm saying.
I don't. I feel like you have a point, but I'm not following where it's going.
He solidified his power. My notes don't even make sense. My brain is out of service, you guys. Basically, Hugh did Lothair a favor when he was losing his regions to his brother back in episode 27. So if you really want the details on that, where I am logical and you can follow me, please check out episode 27.
Although it was only 2 weeks ago, so she's still pregnant.
That too.
You just don't know about it yet.
You just don't know.
Or that's where we told them.
No, it was 28. You've only known for like one episode.
We've known a lot.
Anyway, that's when getting the title Duke of the Franks became like a really big like deal. Like he got a lot more power out of it. Like he had it for a while, but anyway.
Okay.
Episode 27.
Go back.
Yeah. Just do that. You're better off than sticking with me right now today.
What else you got? Should I kill him or?
Almost there.
Okay.
Almost ready to die. So one of the reasons he was chosen to be king was that he actually supported monastic reform in the abbeys, while other contenders continue to distribute like the church revenues to their own partitions. So he actually tried to keep
their own partitions,
like their own people,
parishioners.
Yeah, that's probably what I was meaning to write.
Okay.
So Louis V died childless. There was still one more Carolingian out there, which was Charles, Lothair's brother, the one who made a lot of trouble for him back in episode 27. He's the brother that spread the nasty rumors about his sister-in-law / Queen Emma of Italy, saying she's sleeping with somebody that she wasn't sleeping with, and then there's supposed to be this big court appearance, and then he got ousted, and so he did that, and then he just didn't have a lot of respect for he didn't hold enough respect within the community.
He wasn't well respected,
right? And he actually married a woman of lower nobility, so sided with the Eastern Franks one too many times, and basically in a surprising bit of clarity, he supported Hugh Capet for the throne. And in the Battle of Hastings by Harriet Harvey Wood, Charles is quoted as saying, "Crown the Duke. He is most illustrious by his exploits, his nobility, and his forces. The throne is not acquired by hereditary right. No one should be raised to it unless distinguished not only for nobility and of birth, but for the goodness of his soul. So not just because you're a high birth and you're like high class, you were born into it. Like it should be because you can do a good job. So shocking there.
A bit of a modern thinking, isn't it?
Yes.
For the time.
And so on July 3rd, 987, he is crowned the first of the Capetian household. Then seeing the writing on the wall, he pushed to have his son Robert ordained, Hugh did, so that he would become the heir to the throne, and it was politely declined by the archbishop.
Why?
Because they said that they didn't need two kings. Like, we have one, we don't need two.
Oh,
But
he wanted him
Hugh-
ordained as king.
Yeah. He wanted
I
him...
thought you meant like ordained.
No, I said that incorrectly. But yeah, he wanted to have a co-king. Why? Because he's 48. He said that, oh, well, I'm going to go do this big expedition in Spain and attack the Moorish armies. And he was trying to make it a thing. And his bishop was like, no, but he actually won the argument. And later that year in December, his son Robert became Robert II and ruled alongside Hugh Capet. So next we have a little bit of drama.
That's why we're here.
Yes, it is. So Charles, who had stepped aside earlier for Hugh to be crowned king, had a bit of a change of heart.
A bit of a...
He's a go backsies.
Oh, that's what they call them. That's what I was getting at, yeah.
Go backsies. And gathered
Fair
other...
weather friend. That's what I was looking for.
He gathered other Carolingian sympathizers and nobles and took Leon from Hugh, which was the seat of the Carolingians, like the hereditary, the noble one. That basically meant you're the king.
Mm-hmm.
Hugh Capet tried to take it back twice and failed both times. And he then made a big tactical decision and appointed a more distant Carolingian to the seat of archbishop, hoping this would like calm things down and appease everybody that a Carolingian of some kind of distancy had power right then. So that did not quite work the way he thought. He made the archbishop swear an oath to him, and under penalty of being cursed if he broke it. He broke the...
Spoiler alert. He breaks
the oath. Immediately sides with Charles, helps him get in to another city, leads a whole coup, pretends the whole time like, I'm so afraid, I don't know what to do. Like, he tries to lead the nobles to safety, and then, oh, look, there's an army. And like,
I think his
dramatic
thought process was like a blood is thicker than water kind of.
Yeah.
My blood is thicker than the curse you put on me.
So they kind of settled into their new digs, made themselves comfortable, and, continued making trouble for Hugh Capet. So Hugh ended up taking someone else who was kind of a buddy of theirs, and that guy swore to Hugh, or he swore that he would try to sort things out for Hugh. So he goes over to Charles and the archbishop who broke his oath, and tells them, hey, we can totally make peace. Hugh's ready to talk. And that night, Charles says, you're going to swear an oath to me that you're on my side. And the guy's like, yeah, man, I'm totally on your side.
Totally, yeah.
For
Don't
sure.
Kill me, please.
And then he broke that oath. So 2 separate people, 2 separate oaths.
Can't trust anybody
Both
these
are broken.
days.
What is the point of an oath?
It just gives me the right to kill you legally.
Right. So that night, he captures both of them, bring them over to Hugh, and they're promptly thrown into prison.
Imprisoned.
Yep. All in all, Hugh owned about 400 square miles of Francia, and he never left that space because he was too afraid of being captured or dethroned.
People kept stabbing him in the back. I wouldn't leave either.
Agreed.
So then he promptly dies in 966.
Yep.
Don't know how. As we've mentioned on previous episodes, I'm going to put my money on hunting.
I'm going to assume hunting.
Yeah. So he dies. He is buried at the Basilica of Saint Denis.
Oh.
Yeah. I might have seen his grave.
Oh, she might have. Pretty much all of them you probably walked by.
And have pictures of. I just didn't take pictures of the names. So
yeah. Like, oh, look at that stone.
They are.
Like,
well, no, they're all ones where it's like their stone carving of their
on top
person. Yeah.
And then at the front,
them and their wives or
got their
so
name.
I probably have a photo of it, but
probably do.
I have no idea who it is.
Yeah.
We'll just have to go back.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
So he is succeeded by his son Robert, who we will talk about next week.
Robert II. Episode 30. You have that to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
And now we are ready for our relevant tidbit. Oh. Ta-da! This week, we're talking medieval parenting advice, wiliness, and death in the family from medievallist.net.
Mm-hmm. If you're wanting me to read that, it needs to be on the literal opposite side of the screen.
I'm getting it there.
Thank you.
And that zoomed in.
Too much.
Too much.
There we
Far
go.
too much.
All
Caitlin,
right.
take it away.
Both are also warned against the dangers of gambling in the tavern. That feels like I'm starting something in the middle of a sentence.
You are.
Okay.
You read it last time. So both children. So boys and girls.
So boys and girls are also warned against the dangers of gambling in the tavern and against wily members of the opposite sex. The daughter must not take gifts from men who may be trying to seduce her. And the son must steer clear of common women because they will bring him nothing but trouble. This is pretty standard traditional advice, so is there anything moderns might find surprising here? Maybe. If you read the advice from the mother to the daughter, you come across many familiar themes, such as being a good housewife, keeping control of the servants, and not dressing too elaborately. Nearing the end of the text, however, comes a startlingly honest scenario. And if it thus thee betide that friends fail thee fro on every side, is this a poem?
It is from an older medieval book.
Okay. Try that again. And if it thus thee betide that friends fail thee from on every side, and God fro thee thy child take, thy wreck one God do thou not take. For thyself it will undo. Okay, there's an interpretation.
Okay, good.
In other words, if you lose your friends and one of your children dies, blaming God will not help you cope. See, I got that far, and then I thought it was saying you should blame God.
That's what I thought it was saying. I was like, but what?
So this stands out from the usual wise but distant advice, as it suggests that the death of a child would be such a blow to a woman that she might question her faith. Whoever the author is, did we talk about that?
We're getting there.
Okay. The author points this out because the author. Do we have a name? Do we have a
Yeah, I'll get you the name.
Pronoun I can use?
Oh, it's a girl.
Okay. So she points this out because I'm just going to read it verbatim. I point this out because I think moderns cling to a couple of ideas that medieval people that are put to the test here. First, that they are somehow less attached to children because they died so often. And second, that medieval people had unshakable, unquestionable faith, which clearly neither is true.
Nope. Author Danielle
Cebulski.
You can follow her on Twitter at 5 Minute Medievalist. I know. I followed her.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you say, oh, by the way, we're reading your stuff on our podcast?
Oh, we're sending people to you. Yeah.
Okay. So,
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks for coming back.
You can check us out at royalmalarkey.com. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
If you are tuning in on Aversion TV on YouTube today, you can please hit the subscribe button or leave us a comment. Please.
Yay, we'd love to hear from you. Let us know what you think about our parenting advice and if I have completely lost my mind.
Don't comment on that. We already know.
Have a great day.
See y'all next week.
Toodles.